Good afternoon guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I've managed to catch hold of Kerry before she goes into work to give you her update, her exciting news, her life update. Yes. So Kerry,
yes.
Are you ready? Are you full of news?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, just apologies before we start. Tony is flying around here. I was out the back playing with him with his run and chase toys, and he's a bit panty, and he's a very loud panty. I was hoping he'd lie down and go sleep on the cool tile, but no. Okay, Kerry, take it away.
I'm going to university.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Woohoo!
And I have to move out in 3 weeks.
After a 2-week holiday.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
Yes.
It is good fun. Do you want to tell them what you're going to study?
Heritage studies.
With
Spanish.
Sorry, there's a fly kicking around there. With Spanish.
Yes.
So heritage studies, what is heritage studies?
It's history, geography, genealogy, archaeology and...
Museology. It's the only word I remembered because I had to look it up. I hadn't a clue what museology was. And I tell you, if you think you know what it is, put it in the comments below. Because we hadn't a clue. Sure, we didn't know. We had to ask Alexa.
Yeah. And I also do music and folklore and mythology. It's kind of just like the study of Ireland.
Yeah.
But it's all based, I don't know, it's a jumble of like geography and history and cultural aspects as well.
Yes, Tony. Will you miss this bullying?
Not really.
Where he just pushes you out of the way. Anyway, there he is. Look, down here. This is Tony the bully who just farted and it stinks. Okay, try not to gag. So, Kerry, how long is your course?
It's 3 years, but I have the option to bring it up to like an honours course.
Which is the next
4
year.
years. Yeah, it's just next year.
And whereabouts is it?
Galway.
Okay, Galway. Alright, Galway University?
ATU.
ATU.
ATU,
so
which is the new university.
They brought
They've all
Sligo.
merged.
They brought Sligo, Letterkenny, Mayo, Galway.
Letterfrack.
Yeah, that's part of Galway. Always part of Galway, but Letterfrack, yeah.
Yeah, the Letterfrack
all
campus.
into one university. So technically, Hayley and Kerry are in the same university. Just
East.
Hayley's on the north of the country,
And I'm on the
on the
east
west.
campus.
West. Yeah, we're on the west of Ireland, so you're just sort of down. But yeah, so what else was I going to say to you? So at the end of the day, what studying heritage, like what type of jobs and stuff will that give you?
A lot of government jobs, ironically.
I know I did look up and it did say about the library. You can work in a library.
Yeah, you can also work in the archives in the National History Museum in Dublin. So you can work in the archives. I also get to do conservation of paper.
Oh, lovely.
And I get to do conservation of artifacts as well. But all the jobs are basically either in libraries, art galleries,
museums,
the archives, the national records, all of that.
Oh, right, okay.
You're so heavy.
So can I ask you a question? What made you decide to get out of healthcare?
Everything.
But that doesn't help anybody.
No, but like it's too stressful now. There was me and another girl on the unit that were full time, and it was really hard like between the two of us because for most part of the week we would work with each other, but then on the other days we weren't, and we would work on my agency, and then kind of. So
agency you have to train in every night because it could be something different every night.
Yeah, so you have to show them every night what to do, and it's obviously not their fault. Like they're doing their job.
Yeah.
But like if something goes wrong, it falls back on us.
Yeah.
So I don't want that anymore.
No, that's fair enough.
I
That's
don't
fair
want
enough.
the responsibility.
I think it's very brave that you know there's such a high demand for healthcare, so you'll always have a job. And I think it's very brave to turn around and say, no, actually, that's not for me. And now, I suppose the one thing they can't take away from you is your qualification for healthcare, and they can't take away your experience.
Well, I am.
So you always have that,
yeah.
Even during the summer, to go in and pull 40 hours, if you needed to.
The other thing is, I believe I'm exempt from communications in the first year.
Because you did it on your level 5.
Because I did it on my level 5. So it should be okay.
Is there, because you're doing Spanish?
Yes.
Is there an Erasmus program
Yes.
where you go abroad for
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what accommodation wise, you're going to stay down with Grandmama. Okay. And what's the journey time like in to go? It's about an hour, is it?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Yeah. Well, it's 3 hours from here, so
Yeah.
it's sort of half of what it would be if you decided to stay at home.
Wow.
Oh, he's just a big bully. So yeah, so that is her big news. She is off to university. Your first day is the 26th of February. She comes back off her holiday on the 15th. So you have 10 days.
Yeah.
And in between we have to go to Bowman to get the results of your nuclear scan.
Oh, the fucking disaster.
We have to do your induction.
Yeah.
Now, an awful lot of people were worried about your kidney. They were, they think that there was something major wrong. There isn't. It isn't actually that there's anything major wrong. It's more the fact Kerry was born with her kidney in her lower right side. Yeah.
In the hip.
In the hip. And she never even so much as had a kidney infection. She's had nothing. She never had an issue with it. So the doctor did say to myself and her dad, unless she has issues with it, she doesn't need to see a doctor again. It's functioning fine. But you did have the bad kidney infection, which people would have seen, where you ended up in hospital.
I had sepsis.
But you, and that's when then they referred you to Bowman. And now Bowman are nearly micromanaging the kidney.
It's not even so much that. What was said to me was that there would be one final ultrasound to make sure everything was fine, and then I'd be discharged.
Yeah.
At some point between March and now, they changed that.
Yeah, but hold on, you had to go to hospital.
I did in between. I was in hospital and
you went from work, and there was a slight trace of blood found in your urine.
Yeah.
So they referred that back up to Bowman.
Yeah.
And I think Bowman were just like, well, why is it? It's
still
not even
bleeding.
that it's bleeding where you notice it in your urine.
I've never noticed it.
No. So it's just like, I suppose, like a leak. It's a small leakage.
Yeah.
You have a small leakage somewhere. And I suppose it's just them trying to get to the bottom of it as to why.
I don't feel...
Not that it's nothing serious. But she's not doing it because she's sick. Like, please understand that she's not sick.
I'm not sick.
No, but people were worried that maybe you were sick. You're not sick.
I'm not sick. Basically, when I left Galway, there were blood results pending. There were ultrasounds gone missing. There were files gone missing. So nobody had the file.
And nobody had the complete
March.
story.
And nobody had the story. So Bowman were just running on kind of me.
Yeah.
And I said to them, I can't even tell you what happened with the ultrasound because I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they chased all that up back in March. And when... Yes, Tony.
We're still talking.
So when I went in for the last appointment, it was actually kind of funny because I walked into the radiology department and I said, I'm here for my ultrasound. And they went, no, you're not. My snack! My snack box!
You're talking to
My
us.
snack box!
Come on.
So they went, you're not here for an ultrasound. And I was like, Ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am?
And I think what scared us a bit more when we went in for the ultrasound, everybody...
No, when we went in for the CT, it was a nuclear medical scan, so I get injected with a radioactive dye.
But what really scared me and sort of made me a bit nervous was everybody that was in the waiting room with us had cancer.
Everybody.
And we're getting the scan for cancer operations the next day. And that's when you think you're just there because they just want to get a better image of your
it's a
kidney,
big,
and all of a sudden everyone's there going, oh yeah, I've got cancer, and you're just sitting
like
there going,
I'm having on my 5th round of chemo, or I'm having my, I'm having a biopsy done in the morning.
I'm having my lymph nodes taken out.
Like it's like
it sort of made us it was a reality of how serious normally these scans are. But having spoke to the nurses, you in work especially, because her kidney is in such an unusual place and it does cover other organs and stuff.
There's a big problem with the other organ part.
But the conclusion we sort of all came to was they just need a really good image of this kidney, because the last time they got a really good image of the kidney, I think she was like a day old.
It wasn't even that.
There wasn't a scan.
Yeah. So basically when they were doing this scan, your man did say to me, like, it's going to show parts of your liver, it's going to show parts of other organs just because of how the dye runs through the body. He's like, but it should majority be your kidney and bladder. Now, I can honestly say the good kidney is a beautiful thing. It looks beautiful.
Tony, don't push.
The other kidney could not be more bashed.
Well, it wasn't even that, it was hugging your bladder.
It was hugging my bladder.
The kidney has gone down and is sort of giving her bladder a nice little hug. Yeah. So, to go back, sorry, getting back to where we were. On the 22nd of September, Kerry has an appointment at 8 o'clock in Beaumont, and I'm going into the consulting with you. Two of us are going in. Because obviously it's getting a bit more serious when they're starting to do CAT scans and stuff. And
radioactive dyes and can't go into work.
But when she's finished there at 8 o'clock, this is where it gets bizarre. So when she's finished there at 8 o'clock, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, she then has her induction to go to university. So that's on a Thursday, 22nd. I think it's on a Thursday. When that induction is finished, we then have to get into the car and move Kerry down because she's starting college on the Monday. And on the Monday, normally I would stay down like I did with Hayley for the first day, but I can't. Because Hayley is coming down for Letterkenny that weekend because both her and Carl have got orthodontic appointments. Hayley, we think, to get her braces off, and Carl to get his braces put on. So I can't be there, but I am going to come down on the Friday at the end of her first week, just because it's a big step, you know. So I know an awful lot of you were concerned. An awful lot of you sorry, the dog is annoying me. An awful lot of you were thinking she was pregnant. She's not pregnant. She's definitely not pregnant. I'm too young. This face, look at this face.
She says that. Don't believe her.
Too young to be a grandma.
Don't believe her.
Anyway, so yeah, so that was Kerry's news. I know I didn't mean to drag it out. It was just the way Kerry was working and the way things were happening, and obviously my mum getting a car in the middle of it all. It just threw us all into a tizzy. We're still in a bit of a tizzy because I have to relocate. Hayley has to resit an exam. I have to get her from my mum's to Letterkenny, which is about a 3.5 hour drive. Now, she could go by bus. I could be really and say to her, no, go by bus, but it's nearly 6 hours by bus. Yeah. And she has agreed, we're actually turning it into she's booked a hotel and we're going to stay overnight, have a hotel, there's a swimming pool, the whole shebang. I've never been away with Hayley on my own, ever. There's always been her, well, it's only 10 months between her and Carl, so it's always been Hayley and Carl. Me and Kerry have gone away on our own.
Have we?
Yeah, especially when you were younger, because obviously you were 4 years trotting around on your own. So we always, So then Hayley is moving back here around the 7th of September. She is then moving up to her apartment on the 12th, but we have to go to IKEA in between. Yeah. You're away on holidays for those 2 weeks.
Yep.
I am getting Hayley up to Letterkenny. I am coming back here. Then I'm getting her to the hospital, inductions, and then move to Galway.
The hospital is actually scarier than the induction.
Yeah, that's true. Right, guys, so I just wanted to bring us up to speed, let you know what's going on. There was nothing, shall we say, serious, and I use that very loosely. Obviously with her kidney it is serious, but it's not serious. She's not sick with it.
I am dead curious to ask the doctors why. Because I felt that could have been all avoided.
Why what?
Why the radioactive CT?
I think it's just to do with imaging. I'm sure someone looking in will tell us why they would opt for a...
Well, considering they did 2 ultrasounds and we're like...
But obviously the ultrasounds weren't clear enough to figure out why it was still trace bleeding.
Yeah, well that's true.
So
but it does look like someone got a kidney bean and went squish.
Squish, yeah. But sure, look, it is what it is. We'll deal with it. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be life altering, I don't think. No, I mean
I actually don't know anymore.
But if you have to get a kidney out, you have to get a kidney out.
I don't think they'll take them out either.
We could sell it. I heard a kidney goes for about 70,000.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, that's tempting.
No, I'm only joking. Only joking. No, I mean, in fairness, we'll just cross the bridges as we get to them. But I just wanted to bring this up to date because it is huge for Kerry. This big whole 180 she's doing on her life, from going from healthcare into heritage studies, is just like, it's like, and
to go from working with the elderly to working with the ancient.
True.
And just go back in time.
Yeah. But I think it's brave when you know there'll always be a job there for you to give that up and go, no, I'm sorry. But you've also got, you could be a history, or not a history teacher, a Spanish teacher and stuff.
Yeah, it gets a little bit sticky.
Yeah, I know, there's extra courses you have to do.
Yeah.
And stuff.
But I can go kind of anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's good.
It's good. And today is what day is today?
second last day of work.
Don't bang table, you move the camera.
Sorry.
Second last day of work ever in healthcare.
Yep.
You happy?
Yep.
Do you know when you handed in your notice to work and you knew that was it, you were done?
Yep.
What was that like for you?
Freedom!
But seriously, was it like...
Yeah, it was like literally being like free.
So overall, you're looking forward to this whole new chapter of your life?
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting times for you.
Yeah, so I also get to do I can choose between 1 to 2 Erasmus placements. So I can choose to do one in one country and one in another, or I can do 2 months in one country, and
Nice.
I have a big variety there.
Yeah, but you'll have to discuss that with the tutors and stuff.
Well, there was
while
a
you're in there.
professor in Maynooth when I was applying for Spanish who said there was absolutely no point you going to Spain.
Yeah, well,
She's
look,
like, you lived there for 5 years.
you did, but that was 10 years ago nearly. Right, Missy, we'll leave it there. So, yep, so that was all Keri's news. She is starting university. She's got 2 weeks holidays first to Tenerife. Then she's starting university. She's going to stay with my mum for the first year, and we're going to figure things out after that, aren't we? So, yeah, so sorry for if we caused anyone any bit of stress. I didn't mean to. As I said, with mum's car breaking down, having to shoot around the country like a lunatic.
And I'm definitely not pregnant.
And she's definitely not pregnant. Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye.